going on, everybody? I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm really excited because I'm here with Justin. We're going to be starting a new feature on this channel called Mopar of the Month. So it's kind of in the name, but every month I'm going to be featuring a badass Mopar, and what better car to start off with than this badass Hellcat. So Justin over here, he is one of the founders of Salt City Mopars, which is, you know, I've mentioned it in previous videos, but it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Mopar group probably in Utah. And so I've done a lot of car cruises and videos on that. So really excited to talk about the car. So how's it going, Justin?
Yeah, going good. Excited to show off the car today and talk a little bit about it.
Sweet. So we'll kick it off with, first off, follow him on Instagram. It's at the Billet Cat. I'll throw it up on the screen right now. So make sure you follow this car because he's got some awesome photos. First off, tell us about what this car is, the year, make, model, horsepower figures, etc.
Yeah, so this is a 2017 Dodge Charger Hellcat. It is pretty much fully loaded. The only option it doesn't have is a sunroof and, you know, weight reduction there. So comes from the factory with 707 horsepower, and yeah, it's amazing and I love it.
And you've done a lot of stuff to this car. So tell us kind of what you've done and what the new horsepower figures are.
Yeah, so the last dyno session I did, it made 810 rear wheel horsepower. And that is probably a little bit of a low number because that's a hot summer day and it pulled a little bit of timing due to just running out of bad fuel. So it's a beast, makes a lot of horsepower. In order to get that, it's had a PCM swap and a tune, obviously, 2.65 Metco pulley. And other than that, it's a lot of stuff just to kind of beef it up, make it safe. So injector dynamics, 1050 injectors. It's got a leg maker, carbon fiber intake. And then beyond that, one-piece aluminum drive shaft, Durs diff brace, which is an awesome product, really stiffens it up. Stainless works long tube headers, which are fantastic. So those are the big power adders and the main mods I've done. Other than that, some little stuff here and there. You know, we've got some red pinstriping. Obviously, wheels and tires are a must. Recommendation for everyone on it with a Hellcat is to get yourself a good tire. It changes the car completely. So I'm actually running a staggered street setup where it's actually 18-inch rims in the rear, 18 by 10s with a drag radial, and then 20 by 9.5 in the front. So really get a soft, sticky tire in the back.
That's awesome. And probably at the crank, your horsepower is close to 850, right, or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably even a little bit more than that. I don't know the exact loss figure, but yeah.
That's crazy.
It's up there for sure.
Did you throw a lot of money at it, or is it pretty reasonable to get up to those types of horsepower figures?
You know, it's pretty reasonable. It was, honestly, the most expensive part was actually purchasing like the drive shaft and the diff brace, and really the things that are just there to add longevity and not so much power. Other than that, you know, getting a PCM is kind of expensive just because you have to get an unlocked one on these newer cars. But yeah, really the pulley and belt and the things that actually make the power, pulley, injectors, and tune, can be had for, you know, only a couple $1,000s. So really affordable to get a lot of extra power out of these cars. And then if you're gonna race them and ride them hard, you got to do the other stuff too, just to keep them bulletproof and safe.
We'll cut to an exhaust clip right now and how it sounds.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, long tube headers, so that definitely makes it a lot louder. And then other than that, kind of cat back, it's just had the mid muffler cut out. But yeah, nothing too crazy. The long tubes really make it loud.
Got it. So what kind of upcoming mods do you have? Do you have anything planned, or are you pretty much done?
You know, so the tricky thing with going too much further on this car is once you dip below a 10-second quarter mile on a drag strip, NHRA rules are that you have to do a full roll cage. So I'm not willing to put a full roll cage in this car because I love to drive it on the street. I love how comfortable it is. So I'm getting close to that point. where, you know, I have to be careful to not go too far.
Yeah.
So really, I think if I do another mod, it's going to be either something to cool it down or like nitrous, so it can go a little bit faster than you want. So yeah, thinking about like a meth injection just to get it cooled down, and that way you can just get a little bit more timing, just squeeze a little bit more out of what's here, because at this point my limitation is I'm running pump gas, so I'm just running out of fuel at the temperatures we're running. Right. So yeah, adding meth can help that. Nitrous is, you know, obvious. It would definitely give it a good bump, and then at that point, you know, that's very customizable, where you could run a bigger shot on the street and hurt some feelings, and then still, you know, back it off a little bit and run above 10 seconds on an NHRA track and not have to deal with a cage. So
because putting in a roll cage pretty much defeats the purpose of having 4 doors and 5 seats. And
exactly.
You have a bar coming through it. So
right, yeah, it's meant to be, you know, a car that's definitely very competent on the racetrack, but also can still be super fun on the street.
Right.
And really, you know, I use it as pretty much a daily driver. It has to stay in the garage for a good amount of the winter time, but yeah, it pretty much hits the streets every day, all summer. So I want to be able to keep that and still enjoy it.
For sure. And you've driven this kind of all over the country too. A lot of miles on it.
Yeah. It's I mean, you know, depends on your standard for a lot of miles, but I've had it since March, which, you know, it's about 11 months right now. It had 10,000 miles on it when I bought it, and now it's sitting about 27,000 miles.
Wow.
So
that seems like a lot in less than a year.
Yeah, in less than a year, above the national average for miles. And this is also my second car, so I definitely drive a lot. Most of those miles are weekend miles, and you know, that pretty much started day one. I actually bought it in Seattle and drove it home through, you know, from Seattle down to Salt Lake, and then within the month took it to California. It's been all over Yellowstone National Park,
that's awesome.
Colorado, Arizona, Nevada, you know, pretty much you name it in the surrounding states. We've been there and driven around. So I think it's hit, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, Arizona, Nevada, California.
That's crazy. And it's still in this amazing shape. I mean, there's like not even any dents or anything. I mean, there's no rust or stains, or I mean, it's great condition. So you clearly take care of your cars. Well, to anybody who thinks that you can't daily drive a Hellcat, this is an example of, you know, you clearly can. I mean, granted, if it's snowing and, you know, you're rear-wheel drive, you're not going to get the best traction. So you do have a second car, which is it a Jeep?
Yeah, I have a Jeep Grand Cherokee, old WJ that just is a beast in the snow and can go where this can't. So it's a great complement to this car. I have considered, you know, I have an extra set of wheels sitting over here on the wall, throwing a set of snow tires on those just so I can drive it all the time, just because it's so much fun. But I do want to take care of this car and preserve it. And with the salt on the roads, you know, I'm not opposed to taking it out on a winter day where it's clear, but for sure keeping it out of the slush and the stuff that's real damaging is worth it, considering I already have the extra car. So.
Yeah. You've talked about drag racing a lot. What is your best quarter mile time, if you can remember?
Yeah. So we'll have to post a picture of the slip in the video so I can get it exactly right. But I know it's 10.9. I think it's like 10.94, something like that.
That's crazy.
So yeah, that was at Grand Junction, Colorado track, Western Colorado Dragway. And it was in July, super hot. You know, I know everybody likes to use density altitude as their excuse for not going fast, but it was about a 9,000 foot density altitude day. And that was before the long tube headers. So picked up a few extra ponies with those. So yeah, that's the best time so far, and it's been in one of the highest density altitudes I've ever run in. So we're heading to Bakersfield in February, which should be close to a zero density altitude.
Almost sea level, right?
Yeah, almost sea level. Should be really good temperature and weather for racing. So I'm real hopeful that is going to be in the mid to lower 10s. We're definitely going to see, but
right at 10, no lower.
Exactly. So really excited to see what it will do this year. Last year kind of ended out on a bit of a sour note, melted a valve and had to replace a piston. So was down for the last couple good months of racing, just getting stuff fixed and finishing up some school and all that jazz. So
I remember when that went out.
So 2020 is going to be a good year for racing with this car.
The next question is actually, what was your first car?
Yeah, my first car, still a soft spot in my heart, and I wish I still had it. It was a 1997 Ford F-250, 7.3 Power Stroke. Extended cab, fire engine red. It was beautiful. It was my dad's truck. He bought it new in 1996. I've got a picture where I'm about that tall standing next to it. And then, when I turned, about when I was like 15 and a half, I bought it from him. It had been used for his business, landscaping, and working for quite a few years. So it was towards the end of its life, but picked it up from him, drove it all through high school, and even took it to college my first year. And at that point, just became too expensive to keep up on it and needed something newer and more reliable. So
what was your car after that?
Yeah, so I traded it in and picked up a Ford F-150.
Okay.
At the time, my life was pretty much racing dirt bikes all the time. That was what I did. So needed a truck that I could, rely on to get me out to races and back, and
load up the bikes in the back.
Get the bike in the back. So that was an awesome truck. Had that for a few years, and then I broke my back on a dirt bike. So at that point, that's kind of the start of the, getting into cars. So I sold that F-150 just because, where I was at that point, not quite ready to have the strength to get up in it. Just wasn't there.
Pretty high off the
ground.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? All right, sell the F-150, even though I loved it. And for my first car, post spinal cord injury, I bought a 2006 Cadillac CTS.
I didn't know that.
I just need something big. I need something to just get me where I'm going. And it was awesome. Paid like $5,000 for it, and ended up giving it to my little sister. So it worked out great. So drove that for honestly just a few months, and it was fine. But then I was like, okay, I'm ready for something. Started looking around. And my criteria that I was looking at is like, okay, I want a 4-door. I wanted to be able to put my dog in the back because he goes a lot of places with me. And then, winter climate, I'm like, this is going to be my only car. So I want to find something all-wheel drive. Right. And then I just want to find something that looks good and is fun. So that criteria narrows down stuff pretty quick.
Yeah.
So I was looking at like an Audi S4,
good car.
Subaru WRX automatic, which... With the CVT, I wasn't super stoked on those, but they are cool. Just in my research, I ended up coming across that up until 2014, Dodge made an RT Charger with all-wheel drive. So I'm like, wow, that seems like something that would be pretty cool. Lots of room for the dog, lots of room to get my chair in and out. So started looking at those and ended up finding a very nice example of one. So it was a 2014 Tour Red paint, all-wheel drive, and it had something like 15,000 miles on it, like real low miles. It was located in Chicago, so found it online, and just that was the one. Like, it was beautiful, and just decided that's the route I wanted to go. That car really didn't do any mods to it other than just make it look good, throw the hand controls in there, and off I went. So that was an amazing car, super good in the snow, really fun, and that's kind of how I got into the whole Mopar car world, honestly. So I distinctly remember leaving the University of Utah one day and just driving down 4 South and happened to pull up to a plum crazy Super B Charger, and we raced pretty much every light. Of course, he kicked my ass every time, but towards the west end of 4th South, we ended up next to each other and rolled down the windows. He's like, hey, you should join this club. And come out to events. So I got home, searched it, joined, and started going to events. And that's kind of where the itch to, upgrade again came from. I think I would have been happy with that RT all-wheel drive if I didn't know how deep the car scene goes and how fun it is to, upgrade and have the nicer versions. So
yeah, it's kind of cool that this like Mopar group really gets you more into your car, wants you to do more mods. And I feel like, and I haven't owned a Ford or anything, but I feel like the community in Mopars is a little bit stronger and a little bit tighter than some of these other groups. Just in my opinion, I feel like it's a really close-knit group and helps you motivate to do new things to your car.
Definitely. I mean, my dad loves his Shelby Mustang, but even then doesn't have the type of group that we have where really it is just a big Mopar family, and he's all the time telling me how jealous he is of all the cool events we do and whatnot.
Yeah. That also speaks to you because you run one of the people that run the group, so you're able to organize those events. So
that's true.
Kudos to you as well. It's not everybody that can do that. But
from there, picked up my plum crazy Challenger 392 2016.
That thing was beautiful. I remember because it was around the time I was looking for a car, and I really loved that purple color. Mm-hmm. And then I saw the photo of yours, and I'm like, that is like the ideal trim and color and everything.
Yeah, so it was pretty much the perfect car. Again, found it online, 2016 SRT 392, 6,000 miles on it. Wow. Basically brand new. Yeah. I mean, you can't ask for much better than that. So it had every option, fully loaded, Harman Kardon, sunroof, black suede seats. It was amazing. So found it. I wasn't looking for purple, but I found it, and I'm just like, wow, that's the one. Can't pass it up. So again, did the deal over the phone and booked a flight again and flew out to Philadelphia.
Wow.
Yeah, so all the way across the country. Yeah. Jumped in it on Friday evening and started driving. About midnight in Ohio, I hit a raccoon with it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
That sucked. Had to replace the whole bumper when I got home, and all the grills and everything. But drove it across the country over 3 days, and that was super fun as well. Just got to know the car and
that experience.
Amazing. Fell in love with it and had it for about 2 years and loved it to death. I still love that car and wish I still had it, but again, got to the point where I'm just like, you know what, I want to race, and I was debating, okay, do I supercharge the 392? Do I just dump that money in there and do it the right way where, really on those 392s, if you're going to do it, you've got to just go all out.
Right.
Do internals. The transmission can be, one of the weak points at that point. And so it really seemed like kind of opening a can of worms where I'm like, I don't know if I really want to do that to this car. Kept doing my research and ended up just deciding I think I should just kind of look for a Hellcat. I looked for a while, and I actually found this car online. Mm-hmm. Again, I buy all my cars out of state. I get a very specific idea of what I want, and wherever that car that I find is, I have to go get it. Yeah. So I found this car actually online, and it was at a Dodge dealership up in Washington. Mm-hmm. And the price was a little high, but I love the color. Billet silver is amazing. The red suede interior had all the options I wanted. It was perfect. But the price was really high. Uh-huh. And so I called them up, and they were kind of stuck where they were, so had to let it go and just kind of moved on. And it dropped off the listings online and kind of just disappeared from my mind, and spent a while just I'm like, okay, I'll just be happy with the 392. Kind of status quo. And then just a Sunday morning, just happened to be just hanging out, eating Sunday morning breakfast at the kitchen table, and was just scrolling through the ads because that's a hobby.
That's what car people do. Yeah.
Just seeing what's out there, and I was honestly looking for a red Hellcat. I was just searching.
Charger Hellcat,
just looking for a red one, and this one popped up again, and now it was at a Chevy dealership. Mm-hmm. So in the time that it dropped off, it had gone to auction. This other dealership had bought it, and they had it listed for the perfect price that I would have wanted. You know?
Yeah.
And I had already fallen in love with this car. So like I knew everything about it.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the exact same car.
Yeah.
So called him on Monday morning and bought it and flew up there and drove it home. I just couldn't pass it up. The silver with the black stripes, you know, these carbon stripes, and that red interior. I had never seen the combo anywhere else. You know, I searched all over online, and there wasn't another one, so had to have it.
And it's cool that because of your cars, you've been able to travel to a lot of pretty cool places and drive through a lot of these cities that probably nobody's been through.
Absolutely, yeah. It's always a fun adventure. I mean, you never know, you know, you're gonna stop and eat at some cool places and see some cool things and talk to weird people at rest stops and all sorts of stuff. So the trip from Philadelphia home, only booked one hotel. So the other 2 nights just slept in the car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just pulled off. And,
recline the seats.
A few hours, recline the seats. My dad came with me on that one, so we switched off driving so we could drive a lot of hours per day.
Yeah. Next question I had was, what is your dream car? So money aside, if you had the option, what would you get?
Yeah, that's a really hard question because when I come up with a dream, I usually just go get it. So this was the dream car for a long time, and now it's sitting here. Right now, my dream car is, and my next car that I'm working for. Kind of two.
All right,
When I have a dream, that's what I want.
You got to go for it.
Yeah, and I'll scheme and figure out a way to get what I want.
Yeah.
I really want to get a nice Ram.
Oh, really?
A nice Ram truck.
Okay.
Yeah. So
to replace this one or in addition?
No, in addition to for sure. You know, this car is going to be here for a long time. I don't have any intentions of selling it.
Okay.
And at this point, you know, like I said, it did a lot of miles last year and it was super fun. But now I'm at the point with the mods and the distances I want to go where I am getting a little bit nervous of like, okay, what happens when I snap an axle at a drag strip or, you know, just whatever happens. It's going to happen eventually. And I don't want to be stranded 1,000 miles from home with, you know, a broken down car. So that being said, I do want to work on getting set up to be able to tow this to races that are out of state. And that being said, I need a Ram to do that. Well, I want a Ram to do that. So that's
those
kind of.
Those things are badass too.
They're amazing. I mean, you get a nice heavy duty truck.
Yeah.
They're so cool. So, but that's next on the list is get myself a truck so I can pull this and then it's just nice to have a truck. Everybody needs a truck.
Yeah, you don't even know you need it until you have it, and then you actually do need it.
And then you're the truck guy, and you help your friends, and you help people move and all that.
Yeah, that's also the downside of it. It requires your truck.
But that's kind of next on the list. That's really the dream right now. I'm not the type that, you know, has the dreams about the Lamborghini or Ferrari. I think they're amazing, but I couldn't do it.
It's almost not realistic.
No, it's just not realistic. That amount of money, I would just be sick because I want to just enjoy my vehicles. So,
Imagine a rock chip on a $200,000 car. My head would explode.
Yeah, exactly. So finding that balance of, you know, an amazing car, but that's not going to break the bank that you can really enjoy.
Yeah.
That's what really gets me going and what I love. So
I think that's where the sweet spot is. Like, it's an expensive car, but it's not, you know, ludicrous. And yet you get the ludicrous amount of power. So it's kind of, I think that's why they sell so well. And then you kind of mentioned this earlier, but what is your advice for Hellcat buyers? You mentioned tires, definitely.
Anything specific? Absolutely. First thing you should do when you drive a Hellcat off the lot is get online and order yourself something sticky. You know, constantly on the forums and everything, people are like, what should my first mod be? And how do I get more power out of this? And really, if you drive a Hellcat with stock 275 Pirellis, you're leaving a lot of power off the table. So if you can just put the power you have down first, that is going to change your Hellcat experience, absolutely. Other than that, you know, I think it would go back to they're not that special. Like they are. They're amazing cars. but you're not driving a $2 million McLaren, right?
Yeah.
So don't treat it like one. Like enjoy the crap out of them, because unless you're going to put it in a storage container with 0 miles on it, and it's just a car.
Depreciates just like anything else.
Depreciate like anything else. You know, they all have taken a hit, so just go out and enjoy it, drive it, share it with people. You know, they're just so fun and so cool. So yeah, that's my advice, is just enjoy it, put a tire on it. If you want, you know, some people are so worried about their warranty and everything. Yeah. I don't trust a factory warranty that much anyway, so
they'll find a way to screw you.
Yeah, they'll find a way. So might as well just have fun.
Yeah.
Really doing a tune and a pulley is so affordable on these cars and gets you so much extra. I think it's really something that every Hellcat owner should work towards if that's right. You know, if you have any intentions of putting it on a strip or anything like that.
Next question is, of all the cars you've had, favorite modification? Maybe you've already touched on it. Maybe it's what you've done here, but anything specific that's go-to favorite?
I've done a lot of different, you know, modifications. This car, I haven't done really hardly anything you can see from the exterior, right? It's all power related and really just going for horsepower and performance here, which I love. The Plum car that I had, the Challenger, that was 100%, you know, make it look good. And that was super fun as well. I really, really did love the wow factor of that car.
It was.
Where I had the X-Lume illuminated badges on the front and, you know, underglow, and it was just purple, and those were some of my favorite modifications I've done, just because, you know, the majority of the world aren't car people. They don't really care what you have done underneath the car that nobody can see. So those were the things that by far and away just got the most attention. People just loved coming up to talk about that car, and, you know, oh, the crazy flashing lights underneath it, and the illuminated, you know, Challenger SRT on the front end. It was just so fantastic to look at, and to have that car just look as good as it did. So
of all the cars, the one that got the most attention was the Plum Crazy.
By far, really. That color. You know, the Challenger just has that look about it, where it's just something special. I think a silver sedan can kind of blend in. Definitely the racing stripes help with that. But when you take those away, you know, it doesn't stand out and scream, "Hey, look at me!" You know, where a Challenger does. Everybody knows the Challenger. So having that one with, you know, the purple, and I had those shiny Ferrata wheels on it. That car by far got the most attention from, you know, general population. Sure. The Hellcat obviously, you know, gets more attention when you're at a car function. People that know, you know, what it is, and it will get more attention there. But,
Your favorite feature of this car? Do you have one?
Probably I would call it a feature, is just my interior. That red suede, it was the selling point on this car. I love being inside it. It's just so good looking. It's one of the things that really is the wow factor on this car, where you don't see it from being outside, but when people get in and, you know, for the first time, they're like, oh wow, it is so cool in here with the red.
I think I did that when I looked inside the first time too.
So that's probably the favorite, like, factory feature of it, is just that fantastic interior.
So next up, if you're good with that, we're going to go for a ride along, and we're going to see kind of how this thing drives on the street, all 800 and plus horsepower.
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
Cool. Damn, that's loud. Wow. Damn. This is the first time I've actually been in a Hellcat.
Really?
Yeah, I've never driven inside of a Hellcat before. So
it's a little bit more than a 392.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. Granted, this is a souped up Hellcat, so it's not but
and you don't get that feeling that we're getting. So we're gonna talk windows up.
Yeah, that's
that
good.
feeling that you get is a lot from that rear tire and being able to really hook it up.
Yeah.
You know,
the fact that, whoa,
You can't hook with those factory tires.
No,
like
for
that.
sure. Even on mine that are a little bit used tires, like 315s, it's like impossible. Those are drag radials, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're Mickey Thompson Street R drag radials.
That's the only way to get the power to the ground because regular tires just don't do it.
Yeah, not something you can just jump in and mash the pedal for sure. You gotta know how to drive these.
Yeah. Even on 392s, like if I mash the pedal, I'm just spinning out. You gotta really know how to do it. And then talk to me about how your hand controls work.
Yeah, so these are really nice hand controls, kind of top of the line. They're actually drive-by-wire, so I'm pushing in here for my brake, and then, you know, just rocking down. That's my acceleration there, brake there.
So pretty easy to learn and everything.
Yeah, super easy to learn and figure out. And then, yeah, I just have a little blue button down here, and that switches the potentiometer from the hand controls to the foot pedals. So it can be completely driven just as a normal car.
Anybody can just come in and drive it.
Yeah, so, you know, if I ever drop it off anywhere or anything, like for have work done, if they need to move it, it's just normal, don't have to worry about it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild what these cars will do. And really, you know, we're just running like 15 pounds of boost. That's up from the factory like 10-ish or so. So it doesn't take much to really really open these suckers up and make it fun.
So how would you say right now how it performs compares to when you originally got it? I mean, granted, it's a lot faster, but
yeah, definitely a lot faster. It's just the way I would describe it is just more explosive. Yeah, you really just it just throws you back in the seat significantly more than it did before.
Yeah. Whoa, man, 3.9, 0 to 60. Well, there you have it, folks. I hope you guys loved today's video. I sure had a blast filming with Justin here. He's got a really awesome car. Like I said, follow it on Instagram. And hopefully you guys like this feature, Mopar of the Month. If you guys have an awesome Mopar and you guys are in the Salt Lake County area, feel free to DM me on Instagram or however else you want to reach out to me, and love to feature some of your cars. So thanks so much, Justin. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's been a blast.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and find me on Instagram at Schwazy_. Hope you guys have a fantastic day and stay Schwazy.